Hello everyone, my name is Maria, and today I want to show you how I create videos for my other channel, Masha. So you might know me as Masha, and if this is your first time stumbling upon one of my videos, I have a whole separate channel which is dedicated to friendship bracelets and how to make them, and I've been running that channel for just over a year now. I've been getting the question asked a lot of how I make my videos, so I thought I'd walk you from the process of how an idea becomes an actual video. So let's start with the idea process, and that probably starts here. This is the journal that I keep for my YouTube things. I write down all of my ideas, all of the tasks, and just everything related to YouTube. I usually get ideas for videos while I'm doing something else, so I might be making a bracelet or something and an idea comes into my head. I might be making a video and then I think of something while I'm making that, but also sometimes people comment different ideas and I go off from that. I write everything down in my journal and also in my phone when I don't have my journal around. And then usually about once a month I sit down and I make myself a schedule for the month. Now I used to actually schedule things out on paper. I had this like giant calendar that I would write things out, but I didn't buy another calendar for 2020 and I decided to go completely digital. So at the moment I just use Google Calendar to schedule out all of my videos. I have them color-coded for videos that are tutorials or somehow educational, and other more fun videos that don't necessarily teach you anything. I try to post twice a week, one of which is a tutorial and the other one is more fun, but this month I've been trying to push myself to create 3 videos a week, which is why you see more on the schedule right now. I like the digital approach because that allows you to literally click and drag videos to other days, cancel them, schedule something else. So even though at the beginning of the month I sit down and I schedule everything out for the rest of the month, I very rarely stick to exactly that plan and end up changing it somehow throughout the month. So today is a Tuesday and the next video that I need to make is for tomorrow, which is my usual Wednesday video, which are normally tutorials. This week I'm going to be doing a 5 alpha bracelets life hack video, which is not necessarily a tutorial, but it is educational, so I classified it as a Wednesday video. Of course, the process of actually creating a video depends on what kind of video it is. Tutorials, vlogs, just fun or just talking videos like what I'm doing now are all filmed in a different way. And I will show you my filming setup in just a little bit. And they also require different planning. Now I never script my videos. I don't really do videos that require anything to be scripted, but I do tend to write down bullet points. For example, I did a video yesterday where I discussed what it's like to be a moderator on Bracelet Book and what the rules of accepting or declining patterns are. And for that, I made a huge list of talking points here in my notebook. But that's all they are pretty much. They're just bullet points that I need to talk about. So for tomorrow's video about alphas, I have bullet points on my phone. I don't really go too extravagant with it, I just write notes in the Notes app, and I have written down that I need 5 life hacks, one of which is about centering a design, the other one is about straight edges, the third one is about using the same types of strings, the fourth one is about counting the strings first, and the fifth one is about taping your strings off before you start making the bracelet. If you actually want to know about the hacks, I'll leave the video linked in the description because this one will be posted after that one. I won't really be teaching anything here. So I've decided the video topic, I've decided when I want to schedule it, and I've decided what the main topics of the video are. Next up, we have to go into filming. So for this specific video, I need to film in 5 sections, one for each of the hacks. Plus, I need to film an intro, and I need to film an outro. For videos that mostly feature my hands, I tend to just do the intro with my hands, so I don't need to put makeup on. But since today I do have makeup on, I decided to film the intro with my face in it. And the setup for that is exactly the same as the setup for this. So let me show you that. So when I film anything with my face in it, I film it using this beautiful ring light, and you can see the camera is right there in the center. The ring light makes sure that my face is lit up evenly from all sides and that there aren't weird shadows on my face. Also, the camera that I'm using is the Canon EOS 200D, if anyone's curious. And I'm not using a mic, I'm using the inbuilt mic of the camera. You know what, as I took my tripod out and I was setting up to actually film, I decided that I might as well film some of the talking parts of my face in it. So right now I'm going to quickly film all the talking bits, so that I won't actually have to talk when I film all the actual stuff. And instead that will be B-rolls. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and film that and I'll see you in a bit. So now that I've filmed all the stuff with my face, it's time to film the actual bracelet itself, and for that I come under these lights. These are my softbox lights, there's 2 of them. One of them is on the left, one of them is on the right, that way they cancel each other's shadows out, and when you turn them on, it tends to become really bright. So I just filmed a bit where I talked about how I separate my strings, and so this is the point where I'm going to film the actual process of that. I already have the audio so I can just listen to that, and I'm just going to demonstrate. I have my pattern over here, and I'm also re-watching Friends at the moment. And this is what the setup looks like when I am filming those overhead shots, which look like this. So I've just got my camera set up on a tripod looking at the bracelet itself. It is upside down, but then I flip the footage when I'm editing. I just had a quick break for lunch before I sat down to edit, and what always happens, I lost this thing. And this is the thing that you need to attach the camera to the tripod. I was gonna film how I edit the video and then time lapse. Probably spent 15 minutes looking for it and it was under my plate. So I recently got myself a new screen and it is curved, so it looks really weird on camera. But it's very big, which I like. I'm very happy with the size. It allows me to see my timeline really well. The timeline is really big. I used to edit on my tiny laptop, which is probably like this size in altogether, like this. So this is definitely very much an upgrade for me. So I edit in Premiere Pro and I start by importing all of my footage into the project, which I've already done. And then I just bring out each of the video files onto my timeline and pretty much cut it up. There's a lot in the actual video itself that I cut out, like for example at the very beginning where I fix up my hair, which still ends up looking terrible in the video itself, but whatever. And I just go in and I cut these things out. Hello everyone, my name is Masha, and today I'm going to share 5 tips or hacks about alpha bracelets. This is the point where I will insert my intro, which I'm just gonna drag out from here and clip it to the next point where I start talking to see if that makes any sense. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And it does not, because I instantly filmed the outro. I'm gonna delete that and I'm just gonna drag in the next file. And yeah, that's pretty much how I edit my videos. I'm just gonna do that. If I find something else interesting, I'll pause. For my videos as well, I always add a text layer at the bottom describing what the video is about and who it's by. So I usually write that it's by Masha Knots, and then I make the text really small and I center it, and then I write the name of the video. So this one is going to be Alpha Bracelet Hacks. The reason I do this is because I've had situations where people have stolen my videos and taken credit for them. So I like to add my watermark to make sure that people know that it's by me. And the name of the video as well, so that if someone takes my clip out of context, the original video can always be found. And yes, I got inspiration to do this by Simply Nailogical. I was a fan of her since before Polish Mountain. Anyway, I make sure to crop that out of the actual intro itself. So since I don't want that here when the intro plays, but sometimes I forget. Also at the beginning of the video, I like to add my Instagram information. I like to add it somewhere where it makes sense for the phrase. So if you've never made alpha patterns before and you want to learn from the beginning. So when I do a pause, for example here, I just add a simple pop effect, the Instagram logo, I make it much smaller of course. I pop it onto the left here, do a text layer with my handle, and that pop sound effect has to be a little quieter because it's actually very loud. I like the automatic size of that, so I don't actually change the duration. I always make sure to save as well. So for music, I have a whole sort of playlist here. I usually take chill hop songs, which if you don't know chill hop, they're amazing. And I actually purchased these, so I paid for a license to be able to use them in my videos, and I like them a lot. I usually just grab random ones. Let's take In My Cabin today. I don't remember what that sounds like, but let's import that and place it under my video. I'm gonna make it a bit quieter, and let's listen to that. I'll give you just some extra tips about them. So the first thing you might have already heard me talk about. So you can barely hear it. You probably can't even hear it on the camera, but I can hear it. It's slightly there, just barely there, and I like it to be that. So it's not overpowering, it's just barely there. And let me stretch this out. This video is probably gonna be, I don't know, like 12 minutes long, so I stretch it out for 12 minutes so I don't have to stretch it out constantly while I'm editing. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and edit the video, and then I'll show you what the upload process is like. So I've finished editing my video and it is now exporting. The only things I've got left to do now is actually make the thumbnail and of course upload the video. And this is what I see when I upload a video. I've got some text that is in all of my videos. This sort of gets me started. I just fill in the blanks. Here I need to make sure that I reference all the patterns that I used, all the videos that I mentioned. I have 2 of them here that I mentioned quite a lot, so these are already filled in. Although in this video specifically, I didn't mention either of those. I also put in the background music and the tags and the playlists and everything that I can here. I also need to make a thumbnail. Alright, Alright, so now that all of that is done, I need to take a picture for the thumbnail. And for this video, I think I'm going to use this bracelet that I'm currently making as the thumbnail. I think it looks pretty cute so far and I want to show it off. So time to bring back these lights. So I usually take my photos with this camera as well. I just set up my bracelet any way I like to and take the pictures. I usually take a million different pictures of the same thing just to make sure I get the perfect shot. And by that time, the video is already finished processing. Once I take my pictures, I import all of them to my computer and I pick the one that I like most and put it into Photoshop. I then add my layers of text. So originally I wanted to put the 5 on the left here, like so, and then this text here, but then I don't like the layout of that. So I'm going to push the picture to the left a little bit. I end up with an empty space here. So I'm going to duplicate the background and put it here as well, but I first need to get rid of this. So I'm going to clone stamp it out. And then duplicate this whole thing. There we go, now I can put the 5 here instead. Now for my thumbnails, I like to add blocks of colour at the back, and I have a specific colour palette that I use, and I'm thinking blue is probably going to be best here. They're sort of pastel colours. There we go, and now I need to fill in the blanks with white. I think the blurring here could use a bit more, so I'm just gonna patch it in. And that's it. I'm pretty happy with the thumbnail. I try not to put things in the bottom right corner because that's where the timestamp will be of how long the video is, so it'll take up about this much of the actual thumbnail itself. So I try not to put anything there. Oh, do you know what? Actually, if I pull this down a little bit, maybe like this, better use of the space. Oh, now that's all wonky. Let me get the clone stamp back in. There we go, much better. Alright, so last thing I need to get done is I need to add an end screen, and thankfully I don't need to add them all the time. I can just import it from a previous video, and since they're all the same, it's not gonna matter. And then I go in and I add all the cards with the add cards function. This is also the point where I make sure that I don't have any editing mistakes, because sometimes they still slip through even at this stage. I've also posted some videos with editing mistakes before, but you know. So I put my video on double the speed because I can't sit through the full video. Just listening to myself, that is torture. Put it on double the speed and I add all the cards in. And that's it, the video is finished. Now all that is left to do is to schedule it. It's for tomorrow, which is the 19th, and I'm going to be posting it at 5 PM. And I press schedule and it's done. Your video is scheduled. And that's it. That's pretty much the story of how a martial arts video comes to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I don't really have a schedule for this channel yet. I'm pretty much going to be posting whenever I feel like it, but I do have quite a lot of ideas lined up already. So stick around if you want to. I'd love to see you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!